The wonderful movie Sideways introduced many of us to the art of wine tasting. Jay McInerney's been practicing that art for over 30 years.
We know him from his novels like the 80s classic Bright Lights, Big City, but he's also one of the best wine critics around. Now he's put his best essays about wine into a new book. It is called The Juice, Venus Veritas. Jay McInerney, welcome.
Good morning.
You do have a love affair with wine.
I do. It actually started when I was writing my first novel back in the 80s. I was studying with Raymond Carver, the great short story writer at Syracuse University, and I got a job at a wine store to make ends meet as a clerk, and I would take a bottle home with me every night. That was the tradition among the clerks, and I started browsing in the library that the owner had there, and it just became a hobby that became a passion that got out of control.
That wine that night from a special event was Mateus Rosé.
Well, that was actually probably my first great wine experience. It was also my first real date. I was took my true love to a restaurant in Lenox, Massachusetts. It was called the Log Cabin, and I very proudly ordered the only bottle I knew on the list, which was Mateus Rosé. Remember, it was that sort of
I love it. Actually, I remember
Buddha-shaped bottle, and it was very popular at the time. And I must say, I felt very sophisticated. And I can also honestly say, I'm not sure that I've ever enjoyed a wine more than I did that night.
Help me understand, Jay, because I will confess I don't drink. I don't know anything about wine between Boone's Farm Strawberry Hill and the Mateus Rosé. I know, cringe wins. You look like you bit a lemon.
All right,
or the Mateus that you...
We're gonna need more time than this.
No, so here's my question.
Take this home for weekend reading.
No, I did. I'm still like, is this book in English?
Exam to follow.
So how do you help us understand the pleasure? And I know some very serious wine drinkers, the pleasure that it gives you.
Well, in fact,
the pleasure of it.
Not only is the book in English, but I like to think it is in a language which is a common vernacular. The reason that I decided to do this, my friend Dominique Browning, who was editing House and Garden some years ago, asked me to write about wine, and I said, I really don't. I'm not an expert. And she said that's the point. She said most wine writing seems to be directed at experts. It's either very technical or else it's very horticultural.
Yeah.
Now, frankly, as much as I loved wine at the time, I didn't know what malolactic fermentation was, and I didn't know what any flower smelled like in particular. And I thought that there was room for a type of wine writing that wasn't either of these things. And my idea was to come up with a new set of metaphors, and comparing wines to actresses, to pop songs, to automobiles.
We just put one up on the screen that when I came across in the book, it made me think of Gayle, because Gayle loves The Rock. Yes. If you don't know this, and you describe Zinfandel as The Rock in a velvet smoking jacket.
That was my description for a particular Zinfandel. But I think, I think for most people that conjures something more vivid than talking about blackberry and hyacinth.
Yeah,
and a flutter of cheese.
And frankly, I'm not very good at that sort of description. And as a reader of wine writing, when I was trying to learn about wine, I felt a lot of it was Greek to me.
Before you leave, Jay, because I have to ask you about Riel Hunter at the risk of being a nosy Rosie, but it's been reported, and you've written about it too, that one of your characters was based upon Riel Hunter, who is now front and center of the John Edwards case. At the time, she was Lisa Druck. What do you make of where she is today? You two dated briefly.
Well, I knew her in the 80s, and she inspired, she and her friends inspired a book that I wrote called Story of My Life. We had a lot of fun back then, and I honestly, I wish her well now, and I'm concerned for her. I hope she comes out of this and has a great life ahead of her.